First off, ignore the words public service announcement across the top of the page. Originally, I was going to use this drawing as the public service announcement for not leaving either kids or pets in hot cars, but obviously I decided to use my son and borrow the little furry fuzzball. Anyway, today's video is going to be a video about stopping insanity, yet again. Now, this is not going to cover any of the topics that I've already covered, like in my pro-life versus pro-choice video, or my Trump video. Just ignore the words public service announcement, I just forgot to erase those. Anyway, apparently yet again, there's a trial for yet another school shooting. Now it seems like, and I'm waiting for it, I don't know if this has been done yet. Every time there's a shooting or an act of violence in the United States, whether it's a school shooting, which there's way too many of, or a shooting in a library or another public area, people go straight to, it's the fault of the video games. We need to ban violent video games. Stop. First of all, my thoughts on it are that what's causing the shootings, first off, is we need to stop with these stupid gun-free zones / weapons-free zones. We need to just stop making those. They don't protect anyone. All they do is they just provide a message to potential shooters. Hey, everybody here's gonna be unarmed. We can kill more people if we shoot up this place. That's all you guys are doing. Also, the thing about banning certain types of guns. You gotta keep in mind, whatever you ban, it ain't gonna go away forever. It's gonna go on the, on the dark web. It's gonna be the underground black market where the criminals are gonna have the high-powered guns and the citizens are gonna have the equivalent of water pistols. Ain't gonna do any good and ain't gonna protect anybody. Now, I am registered Democrat, however, my political ideology is libertarian. And I know there's going to be conservatives watching this video going, "Oh yeah, you're conservative." No, I'm not. But I'm going to say I support the Second Amendment. I support, I do not support any bans on guns for citizens. My thoughts on guns are, you should be allowed to own, legally, whatever kind of gun you want to own. I'm not big on guns, but hey, if you are, you do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody. Now, as far as the video games are concerned, I am a gamer. I play, a variety of video games, including FPS, and for those that are uninitiated, FPS stands for first-person shooter games, and those are the quote-unquote violent video games that the lawmakers are always talking about. I have never had the desire to shoot up a school or anything, or do much except for just go blow up some zombies in a video game and afterwards be like, heck yeah, that was fun. Anyway, when it comes to the shootings and the latest ones about bullying, apparently the latest motives given by the shooters were that they were, one of them was transgendered and was bullied for being transgender, and he wanted, his words, people to feel the pain that he was feeling. First off, I'm not going to be the one going around saying, hey, let's stomp out bullying. All this stuff about stomp out bullying. Unfortunately, bullying has been around since, the earth was created, since mankind existed. It's been a part of mankind's existence. Now, what I think needs to be taught is tell the kids that, if you bully somebody based on them being, based on their gender identity or based on anything whatsoever, you're being shallow, and that bullies are very shallow people. And ultimately, I think what needs to happen are that, I know a lot of people don't want to get, there's a lot of things out there that say, if you're being negatively affected by bullying, go talk to a therapist. Well, I believe those kids feel, and rightly so, that talking to the therapist is going to get them picked on even more. But the truth is that there are, artificial intelligence therapy apps that will help them. And instead of this whole campaign to wipe out bullying, maybe these kids need to be taught, hey, if you're upset over something, there's mental health chatbots that exist that you can install on your phone and talk to privately. There's, find a hobby. If you're getting picked on, find a hobby that will help you release the pain and go and do that hobby when you get home. And, maybe keep at it, start journaling or something until you feel better. And, that's the problem today. I feel that instead of ignoring the problem, instead of parents just saying, hey, suck it up, kid, I got picked on and when I was in high school, and, it's no different for you than it is for me. Instead of just telling the kids to suck it up, I think what also needs to happen is the parents need to say, hey, I've heard or saw online that you're being picked on, and, you want to talk about it? And then maybe parents should offer their kids healthy alternatives or healthy outlets so that they can release their pain with dignity and not have to worry about getting teased even more. And as far as the video games are concerned, I don't think that they should be banned or anything. If a kid chooses to play video games as an outlet to feel better, then as long as the parents approve of the games, follow the ESRB rating, obviously, and don't get an FPS game if your kid's 13, 14 years old. Don't get a rated M game for a 13 or 14-year-old. Wait till they're of age. But, maybe sit with your kids and watch them play. And then when they're done playing, ask questions about the game and then talk about it a little bit. And hey, whatever I don't know why, but there's a banging because somebody's being rude during the video. But, the whole thing of it is this. Banning video games and gun-free zones, they don't help matters at all. If you got, a gun-free zone, you're just not protecting anybody. I think we need to stop with the insanity of banning certain types of guns and banning, certain types of accessories for guns. And we need to start working on arming people more. Because the only thing that's going to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And, I think when it comes to anything, parents should teach their kids a healthy respect for stuff. And to conclude this, we need to stop banning guns just because they're used to kill people. We need to stop trying to regulate and falsely blame video games. And we need to start encouraging our children to use mental health therapy chatbots to, and also encouraging our kids to understand that bullies are just very shallow people, and we need to encourage our children to find ways that are healthy and constructive to release their pain, release their anger, and their frustration every time they're getting picked on. Because I think also, on top of maybe talking about video games and be like, hey, what interests you about that video game that you just played? Open up a dialogue without being judgmental to your children. And I know I'm getting off track with this, but also, I think if more children have constructive and healthy ways to release their pain, release their anger, and let off steam and feel better, we're going to have less shootings, not more.